Hello, this is Vance from Home Arcade in a Box, and we're just going to do a short tutorial video on how to configure a controller. I have right now the Tron Mars Go2 controller here. It's a great little controller. It does Bluetooth and it does the 2.4 wireless receivers here, like the little dongle, which are great for hooking up to these Pies. So I'm going to do the 2.4 dongle method, and I'm just going to plug this into port 1. Now I have a couple wired Super Nintendo controllers in the port 2 and 3, and we're going to use these ones. They're already connected, but we're going to use these ones to basically get into the menus that we need. Okay, so the first thing I do is plug this into the Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to plug that into the first port on the left hand side. Right underneath that port, I have a USB wired controller, just the Super Nintendo controller. And on the third one, which is right beside player 1, we have another wired controller plugged in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this joypad on, just like so. And notice how it has the light, it's on the second thing. To switch that over to the right one, what you want to do is hold down that start and function button. Just right there. I'm going to hold those both down, and it's going to switch that light over to the next menu here. Once that's selected, we're going to pick up one of our wired Super Nintendo controllers, just like that. And I want to show you a couple of differences between the two controllers here. Notice how A and B are like that, and A and B are like that. We're actually going to do the opposite when we're configuring that to make it more like this Super Nintendo one. And basically we're going to swap out those two joypad keys. So when you're playing Super Mario, Mario runs and then jumps, just like how it was back in the day. So let's get started. I'm going to hit the start button on the Super Nintendo controller. It's going to bring me to this menu. I'm going to go down to configure input. We're going to say, yes, we are sure. And I'm just going to hit that right on here. Yes, we are sure. And now it sees 3 devices. And that would be 2 wired Super Nintendo controllers. And it would be this bad boy right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold down any button on here. I'm just going to hold that down. And you can see the screen changing right to here. Now we're just going to go through the configuration. Notice how it says Joypad 7. That really doesn't mean anything. So we're going to go up, down, left, right, start, select, and then I'm going to go, for A, I'm going to press B. And for B, I'm going to press A. Now, I'm going to do the same on this one because they are kind of reversed on this controller. So I'm going to put a Y button for X and an X button for that one. Now, the rest is exactly how you see it here. So a left shoulder, a right shoulder, a left trigger, a right trigger. And there's a thumb button right in here where you can, on the analog stick, you can actually depress that. So I'm going to depress that now. And the same one on the other matching side, the thumb button as well. And now, I screwed that up. That's okay, we'll redo that when we're at the bottom here. So right now it says left analog up, down, left, right, and then up, down, left. That one's already taken, so we're just going to skip that input for now. And you can skip in any input by holding down any key for a 3-second period, and then it skips it. Now to the right. Hotkey enable is a select key. Always choose the select key. Now we're going to go back up to that one that screwed up. And I believe it was the thumb button, right thumb. So we're just going to select that one more time. And then we're going to get that thumb button. We got the right one now. We're going to go down to the not defined right to the left. And then we're going to hit this button. And then we're going to fix that up. That's all fixed up for us now. Then we're going to hit OK. So notice how that said Gamepad 7. Basically with Gamepad 7, that's not what we want, obviously. But we're going to fix that up easily just by going into the RetroArch menu. We can do that by going into RetroPie right here. From there, we're going to go to the configuration editor. This just takes a second. It's going to boot up the menu. And now we're going to go to configure basic libretro emulator options. Select that first option. Now again, you want to select the first option here. It says 0 right there. Configure default options for all libretro emulators. We're just going to go into there. And then we're going to go down here. Choose the joypad order. Now this is exactly how it works on a Raspberry Pi. Basically you have an up and down USB port. Those are port player 1, player 2, normally. And then right beside that is another 2 ports, and it's player 3 and player 4. So basically when I go into this menu here, it says 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the assigned units there. So what we're going to do, this is already sees my gamepad as number 1, so hopefully that works there. And then it has a USB gamepad. That's perfect. We should be able to control our games just fine now. And we're just going to cancel out of there. And 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 go back. And we should be able to play our game. Game start. And we shouldn't be able to play player 1 if we didn't have that controlled properly. And we do have it controlled properly because I'm playing okay here. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it has helped you and you got your controllers playing right. We always want our game pads to be working properly here, and this is how you get her done. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.